Yeah.
How have you been, Jimmy?
I've been great. I've been enjoying the apocalypse, and I've been enjoying watching. It's as if a foreign government has taken over America and is trying to destroy it. But it's not a foreign government; it's our government. So
Right.
I've been enjoying watching that show, and I've also been enjoying watching the media protect the government as it does it. It's kind of hilarious.
It's very
Um,
sad to watch your videos now at the end. It's so sad because you go, this is where I would tell people about the live shows coming up, but we don't have any. So,
yeah, I know. And then I would tell you to go join my premium, but nobody's got a job, so just enjoy the video.
right.
I just wanted to say, I don't know how you are all feeling. I am ready to go out and get this virus and get back to life. I was just saying before we started that it depends on what the death rate is. If the death rate's under 1%, I think we're overreacting. But I don't know what the real death rate is. And so there's a lot of people making a point, and I think it's a good argument. I think it's worthy of debate that if the pain and suffering, meaning death, which would be created by an economic depression, which we're creating, that will cause pain and death. So if that pain and death caused by the economic devastation and depression that's coming that may never leave, if that is greater than the pain and suffering caused by the virus, then we're not making a rational choice.
Right.
But we need to get the right data. Some people say they're underreporting the deaths, and then you hear they're overreporting the deaths. They're telling doctors in the hospitals to overreport. Doesn't matter. And then they're saying, well, people are being buried, and you don't know if they died from it.
Right.
And so I don't know what the real numbers are. But so that's what we got to get to, because there's a lot of pain and suffering being caused by this. The metaphor Dylan Radigan used on my show is, let's think of the United States as a car, and your car broke down on the freeway and it's out of gas. Everybody knows you want to put more gas in it. Instead, what the government did was they came in, they stole the tires and ripped the radio out of it, and they left it without gas.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what we're living through. And I don't know if you've experienced this, but when I watch other news, people have no idea what's coming or what really happened. They have a vague idea it wasn't good enough yet, and they still think we can fix this. They have no idea that the country has been given over to rapacious oligarchs, and our country's not going to look the same coming out of this ever. And the people who were supposed to do something about this and step on the brake pedal and sound the alarm did not do that. And this was their moment. And I keep seeing news people say things they're treating the CARES Act like it was just another vote, instead of what it really was the biggest upward transfer of wealth in the history of humankind. And it will remake this country forever. And people have no idea what's coming. We're going to have a permanent underclass. We're going to have permanent long-term unemployment. We're going to have states reducing services because people can't afford to pay taxes, and states have to balance their budgets. And we have a bunch of rapacious oligarchs live in Washington who aren't going to help us. And we have a bunch of progressives who we thought were going to fight for us, who are rolling over at nuclear speed inexplicably, with not getting a goddamn thing back. At least Mitch McConnell, you know what he's getting. What the fuck is the squad, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, getting? They're getting nothing except invitations to parties.
Okay, this is that area I definitely want to talk about with you, because you've tweeted out things like Bernie is a complete hack now and sad, and
it's unbelievable what has happened to him.
Let's explore that. Like, what are your chief complaints? Like, I mean, the CARES Act is a big one, right? Because that was a
the whole thing.
Radical piece of legislation that all these people voted for. But what is that? Is that what you're talking about, or is it the supporting Biden? And okay,
No, it's all of it. But it starts with the CARES Act. So, and people say, well, what did you want Bernie to do? People who have no idea how government works. People have no idea what's inside the CARES Act. People have no idea how you're supposed to pressure politicians instead of defend them. They say things like, well, what was a Bernie supposed to do? What are you, in sixth grade? Why do you think they give the power to every single senator to stop a bill? You can put a hold on a bill. Why do you think they give them that power? So they could use it when it's important.
Right.
So
yeah. Which actually has always been one of Bernie's points.
And he didn't do it. He didn't put a hold on the bill and then try to alert the country what was inside the bill, because I don't even think he knew what was in it, because he didn't write one sentence of it, even though he pretended he did. People pretended that Bernie Sanders did something for that bill when he gave a grandstanding speech. And then he sends me emails telling me all the stuff he got for me in that bill. It's maddening. And by the way, the rest of the progressive politicians. And then I turn on the news and I see progressive news people saying that they're heroes. Right after the Cures Act had passed, they were calling Bernie Sanders a hero. And other people in Congress, too. And I'm going to tell you, there's no heroes here. There's nothing but bad guys who are doing evil things to our country while trying to distract us with online news shows with Cardi B. That's what Bernie Sanders has turned into, a late night talk show host who's completely ineffective as a senator and tweets out platitudes and will not use the power of his movement to get anything done. The reason why you don't drop out of a presidential campaign when half the states haven't voted is because you're supposed to be leading a movement, you fucking jagoff. You're not supposed to be... that's not what the leader of a movement does in the middle of a campaign, drops out and tells you to endorse. Hey, everybody's not only that, but then shames his own supporters into voting for the problem. And Bernie Sanders is actively lying to his own followers and the country by telling you need to vote for Joe Biden without telling you he's demented. And all he has to do is say, Joe Biden is obviously demented and I should be the nominee. This is ridiculous. You guys are lying. You're saying Trump's a liar? What are you doing? You're trying to gaslight the entire country by serving them up a hot piece of garbage, a demented walking death rattle who they couldn't even beat in a fucking primary. They're going to put up against the guy who they say is an existential threat. This is an unbelievable failure and a collapse of government, the Democratic Party, and our entire society. And Bernie's voting for it.